My name is Devon, I'm 19, and my method of birth control is condom usage. I used to be a student at LIU Brooklyn. I recently didn't go back, and I'm moving to Los Angeles where I'm just continue to work and try to live out my dreams. In my free time, I just like having fun with friends and dancing and, just relaxing. I've always loved doing musical theater and performances and singing vocally, so I love just anything that puts me in a spotlight, if that doesn't make me sound too conceited. I started using condoms from when I started having sex because I felt that it was very important to do so. Being that I am bisexual, it is kind of like a multi-usage for the condoms. If I am having sexual relations with a person that is a female, it's also for the pregnancy as well as the transmitted diseases and infection prevention. And then if I am having sex with a male, it's also for the disease and infection prevention as well. I use the pull-out method sometimes when I'm having intercourse with a woman, as long as I know that, like I said, everything is good. And then as a double backup, sometimes we also use the emergency contraception, because, you just want to be safe, and I don't really want to be tied down with a child this early, so. The emergency contraception came after we used the pull-out method. I wasn't quite sure if I had pulled out in more than enough time. So we just went to CVS because I've had friends that have used it before, and they just kind of told me, the general procedure of using it. I feel like it was a little more difficult for her just because she kind of felt a little taken aback by it because it was her first time using it. I love adventuring with condoms. I like, the studded condoms and, the different types of the pleasure packs. My favorite, I have to say, are flavored condoms, only because they just like add an extra kick to the experience. I try to nail it from the beginning and talk to my partners and try to, if they're not open to it, I try to bring them around to it, or at least open their minds to it. Definitely being able to persuade them, if not, just generally, introduce the topic. And most of the time people are up for it because they understand, that it's important to use something so that you can be safe, because you really never know.